What's going on, everybody? I got a great show for you guys today. We got 6 key games, some dogs that are alive. You'd be shocked who's going to bark. A bet of the weekend because I will be boots on ground on a field in the Power 5 this Saturday. And we did hit last weekend's parlay if you tailed, and you should have tailed USC, Wake, and Utah smacked in the jaw. Listen, I'm going to leave the parlays in this episode just for the people that watch the episode, but make no mistake, if the parlay hits, I'm celebrating on every social media platform, so you better celebrate with me, because I got to leave something in here just for my loyals that want to listen to this episode and want to listen to the show and like tailing the parlay, because I got news for you. This one I cooked up today is smacking in the jaw. Some points that we just need to take because I've never seen this many points. The pay for the drinks parlay, some Mikey Core, and then we'll get you guys out of here. Some housekeeping first. For all the NFL plays, make sure you're tuned into the Sportsline YouTube and the Sportsline socials. That's where all my NFL stuff will be. But let's get to this show and have a great one. Hopefully your day is going good. And if this video gets to 300 comments, I will do a $200 giveaway to 2 people in the comments of this video. Let's get the comments up moving. Send it to your sister, send it to your brother, send it to your mother, send it to your father, send it to your grandma, send it to your grandpa. Have them all like and subscribe. Let's get to the show. We start with our key games, and yes, I've got 6 of them this weekend, and I was about to say, and this is the best weekend we've had yet, but I do this fun thing where every time there's a fresh week of college football, it's just the best week I've ever seen. It could be Ohio playing Baylor, and I'm watching that game, and it's the best weekend of college football I've ever seen in my entire life. But we're starting with LSU going into Vanderbilt. LSU is ranked 10th in the country, and if you watched last episode, I already talked about it. This is the most fraudulent top 10 team in the entire country. LSU fans, close your ears. Garrett Nussmeier is clearly playing hurt, and this LSU team has been so unimpressive every single time I've watched them play that Vanderbilt money line is just a mega max whale play. Diego Pavia, after not being able to beat Bama this year, you know he's like a bulldog. He's like a pit bull sitting at home, foaming at the mouth, waiting for another chance to beat a ranked team in Vanderbilt, have all the cameras on him, talk about the underdog story. And honestly, I'll be honest, as a short kid myself, I love the guy's energy. He's just a guy you could throw him on an NBA floor and he thinks he could play center. And there's something beautiful about that. Vanderbilt last year was a wagon against the spread. This year, not so much, but I got news for you. This reeks of the classic game where Vanderbilt students are taking those goalposts and they're just hitting Broadway as hard as they can. They're going to Aldean's, they're going to Morgan Wallen's bar, and they're just having themselves a night because they just beat LSU and Vanderbilt. And maybe making that school a sneaky SEC contender. And Diego Pavia is licking his chops knowing that he gets a top 10 team coming into his stadium, and he will protect that house. If there's one thing about Diego Pavia, you don't need a ring camera, you don't need a gun, because I got news for you, Diego Pavia is protecting that house. The next key game I really want to talk about, Ole Miss going into Georgia, Trinidad Chambliss's first true road start, and a 7.5 point spread. I don't know about you guys, but I've had the pleasure of watching almost every Georgia football game this year, and I gotta say, they're a good team. Kirby Smart is still one of the best coaches in the country and probably of all time, but that team doesn't deserve to be a 7.5 point favorite. They have shown nothing to be a 7.5 point favorite against another ranked SEC team, and I don't care that Trinidad was a backup. The kid's playing like a stud right now, and he throws the ball around the park. And yeah, an unconvincing win against Washington State, but we talked about it last episode. I'm convinced that Ole Miss has been watching Georgia tape since week 1. And now that they saw Georgia is a week away on the schedule, they didn't even care who showed up to the stadium. It could have been me and my buddies, and we would have covered a spread against Ole Miss because they only care about this game and getting ready for this game. So how do you not take 7.5 points? I'm taking Ole Miss with 7.5 points in my pocket because I don't trust this Georgia team to really dismantle and put away an Ole Miss team that, one, is really well coached right now. Seems like is very together. Normally when a starting quarterback goes down and the backup starts playing well, it seems like there's chemistry issues. 0. Austin Simmons is on the sidelines cheering for Trinidad like he's Trinidad's backup, which he is now. But you know what I'm saying. Caden Lee is playing well. Harrison Wallace playing well. They've got one of the best running backs in the country over at Ole Miss. And I just feel like when I look at this game, I almost feel like this spread should be reversed. I feel like Ole Miss should be a favorite. Maybe not a touchdown favorite, but I feel like Ole Miss walking into this building is kind of riding that high horse, and Georgia just seems to just be getting by. So maybe it's Vegas saying take Ole Miss with 7.5 points and watch as you lose your ass because Georgia has their first big blowout home win of the year. And I have no doubt that stadium is going to be packed and loud, and Trinidad, that first half is going to be a nightmare. So I might just squeak Georgia first half. I might do one of these. Georgia first half. I might just squeak Georgia first half because I could see Trinidad struggling slightly. But I'm obsessed with this game. I love this game. It's going to be one of the best games of the weekend. Ole Miss plus the 7.5. I have to take all of it. I'm not going to touch that over either. But Ole Miss plus 7.5. I mean, go ahead. Just put it on the platter already. The next key game we got to talk about. Fire up the system. Sound the alarms. There is another system on the board. Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. There's another system on the board, and it is an unranked home favorite against a ranked team. We gave Georgia Tech their flowers last episode, but I just got news for you. Duke is minus 1.5 at home against a ranked Georgia Tech. We have to take Duke. Not only because they were our wagon early on in the year, and we do love Andrell Anthony, we do love Darian Mensah, but whenever there is a system of an unranked home favorite against a ranked opponent, we have taken it on this show. Cincinnati, thank you very much. Utah, thank you very much. And now Duke minus 1.5 at home. I'd feel more comfortable with the money line. For some reason, whenever there's 1.5 point spread in football, I just get so scared. Almost like the friggin' boogeyman is coming through my door is how scared I get with a 1.5 point spread. Because if I could have just had the money line for a little bit more juice and then they win by 1 point, I'm in shambles. So I'm going to take Duke money line here. It's just a system. Unranked home favorites against ranked opponents. We have to do it. If the spread flips by the time you're watching this and Georgia Tech's the favorite, stay the gosh darn away. You stay the gosh darn away. All right? Look at you. Stay the gosh darn away from this game. But I'm taking Duke. I have to take Duke in this spot. It's a great spot. Speaking of spots, Tennessee going into Alabama. Bama's minus 7.5. The spread, I think, was up to 9.5 at one point. Definitely was at 8.5. Now down to 7.5. As an Alabama fan, because I took them to be my national champion. I love Ty Simpson. I think he should be the Heisman. I think Jeremy Bernard is the truth. Jam Miller covered our spread in the most goated way a couple weeks ago. I'm not touching this spread. This spread seems weird. When I relate it to the Georgia spread, I can see why Bama's 7.5 points favorite at home, but I don't like that it's coming down. I don't like that it's inching down. Tennessee's no schlep. Tennessee is no rollover game for this Alabama team. And I don't know why I'm getting weird vibes around this game. If you've been betting for a long time and you watch college sports or you bet on the NFL, there are some games you wake up and you just get a belly vibe. You get a vibe in the air that you go, I can't click that button. I can't click that button even though I want to. And because I have stake in Alabama already, I can't click the other button, which is Tennessee, which seems like the right button in my head. I'll be honest with you. If I remove my bias out of it, that I didn't have Alabama to be my national champion and Ty Simpson isn't my sweet prince, I'd probably be clicking that Tennessee button. But this is just giving me very, very, very weird vibes. I don't hate the over in this game. I could see points flying all around this park. I think Ty Simpson pass yards could be in play here. Jeremy Bernard receiving yards because Ryan Williams apparently doesn't know how to catch the ball anymore. But I'm just getting weird vibes out of this game. I'm getting weird vibes, so I'm not going to bet it. But I got news for you. Bama money line will be in the pay for the drinks parlay. That is an unbelievable foreshadow for those of you waiting for the parlay. The Trojans are going into the Fighting Irish with a 9.5 point spread. Listen. USC, I think, just had their coming out party against Michigan, and we said that was going to happen. We took USC last weekend. We said that was going to happen. I genuinely believe that Lincoln Riley and Jaden Maiava are one now. And once Lincoln Riley becomes one with his quarterback, it becomes very, 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 very scary. It's like going from Anakin to Darth Vader without all the bad stuff in between. It's an unbelievable level up for Jaden Maiava now that him and Lincoln Riley seem to have become one. And I'm taking 9.5 points in my pocket. I feel like this is just an absurd spread. I've been to this rivalry in person in Notre Dame. And it's not that I don't think Notre Dame's going to win this game. Notre Dame probably wins this game. But I think you're crazy to not think that USC and Lincoln Riley will keep this game close. This is just too many points for a USC team that I feel as though has found their identity in a win over Michigan. A quarterback in Jaden Maiava that has found his identity and that can throw it around the park. Against a Notre Dame team and CJ Carr that I just don't know if I trust yet. And I don't have a Notre Dame bias because last year I faded them with my teeth off when they had Riley Leonard and lost almost every bet against them. But this just feels like a spot to take USC plus 9.5. I saw that the new Penn State AD or whatever is taking swings at Marcus Freeman because he might want him to take the job. So you don't know what's going on over there from that perspective. But how do you not take USC with 9 points in your pocket? I have to. I have to take USC with 9 points in my pocket just because I feel like I've talked so highly of Lincoln Riley and Jaden Maiava that I think USC can beat this team in the air. I think Jeremiah Love is the obvious problem. Can USC stop the run game? That is to be seen in this matchup. If Jeremiah Love has his way, this game is going to be over in the first half because he really is a talent like that. I don't really trust CJ Carr to beat me straight up against this spread by himself without massive help from Jeremiah Love. But I think Jaden Maiava and this wide receiver core of USC can have their day against Notre Dame. I know Notre Dame has some really, really, really good corners and a really good secondary, but this USC wide receiver core isn't being talked about enough at all. At all. And Jaden Maiava has been slinging that pill like Dirk at O-Block. And I love this spot, plus 9.5. The over may be in play. I don't know. I'm not feeling my holes with points. I'm not feeling like they want to get filled with points in this one. So I don't know what I'm going to do there, but USC plus 9.5 is automatic. Speaking of automatic, you retire Cam Newton's jersey and you lose the game to Alabama. You retire Cam Newton's jersey and you lose the game to Georgia. And now Mizzou, who covers against Bama but loses to Bama, comes into your house. It's a 1.5 point spread. Auburn money line. If you don't win this game, Jackson Arnold needs to lose the job. And I only say that because you can't lose Cam Newton's retirement night. If I'm the Auburn head coach, I believe it's Hugh Freeze, and you lose on Cam Newton's retirement night, literally the only thing that Auburn football has. When you look back at Auburn football, the only thing they got right now is Cam Newton and that legacy year that he gave them. Potentially one of the best college football players of all time. Potentially one of the best years in college football of all time. I know LSU's Joe Burrows are looking at me funny. But the fact that Jackson Arnold not only didn't cover the spread but lost, I'm benching him if I'm Hugh Freeze. When we got a legend of the program, and there's not many on that football program, Cam Newton on the field with his kids, retiring the number, retiring the jersey, and you lose to Georgia and don't cover the spread, you should just lose your job because some things are bigger than the position. However, you now have a chance to go, Cam, we're really sorry. I know you just had a great time. Maybe you revived your love for the program, so maybe you'll sit down. Maybe your kids will want to watch the Auburn game this weekend. So they'll go, Dad, that was such a fun time. Can we watch the Auburn game? And Cam will go, yeah, we can watch the Auburn game. Clicks it on. You better be beating Mizzou, Jackson Arnold. For Cam's kids, you better be beating Mizzou, brother. Or there's going to be hell to pay and a bench to be warmed by your ass cheeks, brother. So I'm taking Auburn money line against Mizzou. I also just don't trust Bo Perbula. I can't pronounce his name. I think I just nailed it there. But every time I'm in public and I'm talking about him, it's a problem. Someone will be like, yeah, Mizzou's good. And I'll go, I just don't think Bo, and it's one of those things where it's, okay, I'm going to remove myself. I'm going to go take a lap, and I'll be back. But Auburn money line plus 1.5. I feel comfortable taking the 1.5. I could see this game being interesting, but I love Auburn here. I think they win at home. Why is the spread so short? Mizzou, I think, is clearly the better team here after Auburn just lost to Georgia, even though they kept it close. But it is hard to play in the jungle. And Auburn plus 1.5 in money line is an absolute play for me. I love everything about it. Speaking of dogs, new segment alert, sound the alarms. And I love how we're at episode 5 now, so every segment's going to be a new segment. The dogs are alive. I hated that I did that, just cringed in this room. I know you did over there on your laptop, TV, tablet, or iPhone. But the dogs are alive. New segment. I want to talk about some live dogs that I really, really like every single slate because I think it's fun having a couple points in your pocket. Having 5 points in your pocket. No, and you can lose this game, but maybe 5 points will save the day. OU playing South Carolina. This is just such a system fade. If your quarterback can't use his right hand and he's a righty, how are you going to expect me to take Oklahoma? He looked so bad. John Mateer looked so bad against Texas. And I do think I will sit on the other side of the aisle of everyone else and say that I genuinely do believe it comes down to not being able to use his hand and them rushing him back, and that's why he threw that many picks against Texas. But now you're going into South Carolina. And I know that hand isn't 100% healed because you're wearing that weird brace guard and you just proved it against Texas by throwing a gaggle of picks. And now I get Lenora Sellers at home with 5.5 points in my pocket after a devastating non-cover from South Carolina last weekend. I'm absolutely taking South Carolina plus 5.5, and I do think their money line is live. I think if you want to sprinkle on the money line of South Carolina, you should do it. But South Carolina plus 5.5 is an automatic wager for me this weekend. Speaking of 5.5 points, Washington going into Michigan. Bryce Underwood is the real deal, and I don't want to get that twisted. This kid for the next 2-3 years in college football is going to be a Heisman favorite, national championship favorite, but it's his freshman year. And Washington, although they have been very disappointing, they did come back and beat Maryland. They have covered some spreads for us. They have covered some overs for us. I think Damon Williams is the truth. I just like 5.5 points with Washington in my pocket for some reason. I think this could be a really bad wager after Michigan just got blown out by USC. Now you come back home and you go, bring the Huskies in here. Bring the Huskies in here and we're going to have our way with them. I could see that happening. But I kind of want to be the idiot on the other side that goes, but what if we took Washington plus 5.5 and Michigan wasn't the real deal this year? What if we took Washington plus 5.5 and Damon Williams went into the big house and threw it around the park? And then I know you're going to sit there and go, Damon Williams couldn't even throw it around the park in Maryland Stadium. How is he going to do it in the big house? And I say, you're right. Maybe I just talked myself into Michigan. But unfortunately, we're in the Dogs Are Live segment. So I'm just going to have to take Washington plus 5.5. And I apologize for it. That's a really bad wager. Stay away. You ever do that in life? Where you make a decision and then you start talking to someone about the decision you just made and you go, oh, I made the wrong decision. Oh, there it is. Made the wrong decision. I'm going to wave as the right decision drives by. There goes Michigan. But Washington plus 5.5, I guess, is a live dog. Mississippi State wagon. If you've been watching these episodes, we stand Blake Shapen. We stand Fluff Bothwell. And the fact that Florida is an 8.5 point favorite at home is driving me mad. This Florida team sucks. Billy Napier sucks. DJ Lagway is not who I thought he was going to be, and I thought he was going to be the Heisman. And now you're telling me that I get a statement game with my Mississippi State wagon plus 8.5 points? We're taking Mississippi State. And I want you to take this bet because, one, you can be in my trench, and I do think I'm a fun guy to be in the trench of. Like when I got soldiers in my right and left of me, shout out Battlefield, and I'm in the trench. I'm handing out waters. I'm checking on guys' mental health. I'm tossing grenades back. I'm checking the lines first. I'm blowing the whistle, but I'm going over the top first. And that's why I want you to take Mississippi State, because this could be an all-time loser, but it's our wagon. And sometimes you got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and go, we're standing on business, we're getting in the wagon, all aboard, and we're driving it either off the cliff or we're driving it to glory. And those are the only two options we have here. So I will have Mississippi State plus 8.5, and I will have the money line. And it's a stand-on business play because Florida is not a good enough football team to be an 8.5 point favorite against anybody. So we're taking Mississippi State plus 8.5 and Blake Shapen pass yards. Shout out. The next live dog, I have to do it. Michigan State football needs to take a good look in the mirror and just go, what are we doing? What are we doing? And it's okay if the answer is we have no idea we're a basketball school. That's okay. Like that is, I want everyone to know that's a Michigan State fan. That's okay. That if you guys are looking yourself in the mirror and go, what are we doing? I don't fucking know. Just get the basketball season up and moving. That's okay. And I totally understand that. And that's valid. But UCLA cannot be this good, right, guys? Like, right? There's no way this guy calling the plays, I think it's Jerry something. I forget his name. I apologize. There's no way he's this good. I know Nico was supposed to be this good coming out of high school, but now he looks this good. So I'm going to have to stand on a little business here because now I've lost 2 straight wagers against UCLA. And I'm going to have to go Maryland with the points here with Malik Washington. I think Malik Washington is a better quarterback. I think this is the first real test of this new UCLA look. You got Michigan State, who's junk, and Penn State, who clearly is just not the team everyone thought they were. Shout out James Franklin, Matt Rule's taking your job. Sound the alarms, another new segment that we're going to do whenever I'm traveling. The bet of the weekend. I will be boots on ground in Madison, Wisconsin this coming Saturday for Wisconsin versus Ohio State with CBS Sports. I'm going to be at the desk. I think it's near the Badger Bash, whatever that is called, Union something. We're doing a live show. I'm going to be on the field. I cannot wait. And the bet of the weekend, round of applause, drum roll, please. Wisconsin's team total. I know what you're thinking. It's 7.5 right now plus chicken. When it moves to 6, we nuclear whale it. If it's still at 7.5 by the time the game is about to kick, just take 7.5 and just ride it with me. Just put $5, put $1, put 25 cents, put whatever you want on it, just so you can tune into that game and go, I cannot believe we're sweating this. I cannot believe We're sweating Wisconsin to just score a touchdown and then get a field goal or go for 2. So please, the bet of the weekend, responsibly for you guys. I'm going to be wailing because I'm going to be at the game. I need something to root for. I think Ohio State's going to run them out of the building, but I'm going to need something to put on the game for Wisconsin because I'm going to be in some Badger gear. It's going to be the team total, 7.5. It's also just such a funny sweat. So please, bet of the weekend, boots on ground, Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's team total over. Right now it's at 7.5. If it goes to 6.5, I'm going to drop a whale on it. If it stays at 7.5 plus chicken, I will also be dropping a whale on it. Bet of the weekend. Please, 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 please. We move to our classic segment, paying for the drinks, an early parlay for all my sick sickos in the comments and that watch this video that just go, Mike, I want to lock in a Saturday parlay today. I want to lock in a Saturday parlay right now. The minute I'm watching this video, I want to leave this video with not only locking in every bet we just talked about, but I also want to lock in a parlay. And here's your pay for the drinks parlay exclusive to this episode and this episode alone, plus 419 at the time of filming. The last parlay was plus 300, and then Utah went from 5.5 to 8.5, so that's how we lock it in early. Right now at the time of filming, plus 419. You're going to hate some of these legs, and I know it, but just stay with me. Auburn money line. They have to win that game, dude. I'm not having any other conversations about it. It's for Cam Newton's kids, okay? Cam Newton's kids, Auburn money line. Alabama money line. I told you they were going to be in the lay. I needed some sort of skin in this game. I think they win that game, but that spread is just so weird, and Tennessee loves to do this and ruin a season or just win a meaningless game for them. Alabama money line. Last leg, we already talked about it. I've completely fallen in love with the play. The quarterback on the other team can't even throw the ball if they decide to wheel him out there. South Carolina plus 5.5. Lenore Sellers is either going to win this game or lose by 2. There's no other world in which he doesn't cover the spread or win this game. I promise you there's no other world. Plus 419, that's your pay for the drinks parlay for this weekend. Live on the episode. Go lock it in. It's already locked in on this phone right here. This magical phone right here. This device that steals all my money. Pay for the drinks, 419. Auburn, Bama, South Carolina plus 5.5. You're welcome. Thank you again. I normally don't do this, but I just have to do it. We used to do a thing on the morning after called It's Already Locked, and it's the highest over on the board. I haven't seen an over-under this high since Godzilla invaded New York. But I got news. I don't even know if he went to New York. I think he was in Asia doing something weird, but I think it was King Kong invading New York. Either way, points. Fill my holes with points. The most points we've seen yet, at least with these eyes, Baylor, TCU over 66.5. Just put a half unit on it. Just put a little taste on it. Because if there's that many points, like, we have to do it. We always take the highest total over 66.5. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. And that is your Week 8 college football with the red mic and the guy in the Bama polo, Mikey Overs. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The Twitter is going to have all the plays every single day. We will have Friday plays for Nebraska, Minnesota for whenever you're watching this. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to get to some Mikey Core, and then I'm going to get you guys out of here. For everyone that's new, we do this thing called Mikey Core where just get a little vulnerable with you guys. I feel like it's been really helpful. I always get a couple DMs after every episode just being like, hey, man, I really needed to hear that, or thank you so much for talking about that. And, you know, I don't want these to always be upsetting or sad, and sometimes I do want them to be a little bit uplifting, so I think we're going to go that angle today. And I just want you guys to know that you're going to do it. You're going to get through it. You're going to do it. You are stronger than what you think you are, and I promise you're going to get to the other side. So just give yourself some time and have some patience. I think something that I'm working on in my life is truly understanding that patience is a virtue. If you could have one superpower, I always say now, just infinite patience. Because time always does what time does. And if it's meant for you, it'll be for you. And if you work at it, you'll get it. I had a great mentor in my life, and he used to tell me that the work works, man. Just keep working. The work will always work. There's never been a time where the work has not worked.